Jesus offers an advice how to deal with difficult people in Matthew chapter 18 verses 15 to 20. Jesus prescribes these three interventions how to deal with difficult people. In this video, you will find out who are the difficult people according to Jesus. You will also discover a three-step process to deal with the difficult people. At the end of this video, you will discover how to avoid being a difficult person. I am Father Feroz Fernandez and thank you for your support and you for clicking on the channel and watching my video and also the other videos. And those of you who are new here, I extend my welcome to you on the channel. Watch this video, and those of you who haven't subscribed, I invite you to hit the subscribe button and tell the algorithm that these are the type of videos that we want to see on YouTube. And without wasting time, let's begin. How to deal with difficult people. Jesus' advice that you confront them in private can make people very uncomfortable in a modern day social setting. And therefore, I invite you to look at the goal of the passage and not to miss the message. The goal is reconciliation. Before and after this passage, that's Matthew chapter 18 verses 15 to 20, Jesus is talking about forgiveness. And we need to really look into this context of this passage to understand Jesus' advice of dealing with difficult people. Who are the difficult people according to Jesus? The difficult people are those whose actions and behaviors cause other people to go away from God and damage the faith community. We may call these people as sinners, those not in communion with God and the faith community. Jesus prescribes a three-step process to deal with such people. It is an intentional and a deliberate process wherein the affected or the offended takes the initiative to reconcile, not the offender. First step, confront, not gossip. Jesus invites us to confront, not to walk away or gossip. Jesus affirms that we have a responsibility towards each other. The modern day society may sell you individual rights, but our actions affect the community. It appears selfish to walk away without making an attempt to bring the other person back to God. We may offer excuses not to confront, like, it's none of my business. Why should I do it? It's not my job. And gossip doesn't solve the problem either. I term gossip as an escape mechanism. And Jesus is inviting us to explore possibilities towards reconciliation. The second step is to prepare to point out the fault. You are called to prepare to point out a sin to the sinner with a goal to win back the sinner, to regain the offender. Your goal is to help the sinner in his or her struggle against sin. The confrontation is to be done in a spirit of gentleness, meekness, and humility. And if the preparation somehow fails the spirit of gentleness, meekness, and humility, then we may end up doing more damage than good. So the preparation is like a surgeon preparing for a complicated surgery. Plan your intervention very carefully and invite the Spirit to help you. The third step, keep the intervention discreet. It is a new word, carefrontation, not confrontation. So do it with extreme care. The intervention should never look like a threatening judgment. There is a deadly cost for tolerating sin, and therefore Jesus wants you to make this intervention very private, avoiding a public disgrace for the unrepentant sinner. Sin is a spiritual cancer with the potential to destroy the entire community. History bears witness to the moral decline, bringing down the ruling elite and collapsing civilizations. When you make this intervention very discreet, private, you give the offender an opportunity to take the first step and come back to God. What if the three-step process fails? Jesus, keeping in mind the goal of reconciliation, suggests that you can take 2 or 3 adult witnesses to the offender, but you should not appear to be threatening. The 2 or 3 witnesses are rather to verify that we have followed the 3-step process correctly. So you look at this scenario, the person who had taken the initiative to regain the offender is on trial. So the 2 or 3 witnesses will verify whether the spirit of the 3-step process is followed. The 2 or 3 witnesses will also discover that personal opinions of the person who has taken initiative are not blinding his judgment on the corrective action. Although 2 or 3 becomes a legal witness according to the Judaic law, Jesus' focus is to remove sin and restore the sinner. And what if the intervention of 2 or 3 witnesses fail? If the offender refuses to change his sinful ways, Jesus advises us to notify the faith community. He does not allow you to walk away, break a relationship without informing the faith community. These steps provide us a very deliberate, careful, and a fair execution of spiritual discipline. What if, given a scenario, the unrepentant sinner refuses to listen to the community? How should we understand these words that Jesus is advising us to treat them as a Gentile or a tax collector? It is rather strange. The Gospels are going towards the Gentiles and the tax collectors. One of the 12 apostles of Jesus was a tax collector. In biblical terms, a Gentile or a tax collector meant one who is a non-believer or one who is outside the community of believers. Therefore, it will help us if we remember Jesus' basic mission to call sinners to repentance, to reach out to those who are Gentiles and tax collectors, who are outside the community. In fact, the conclusion of this intervention, though we are told to treat them as a Gentile or a tax collector or like a non-believer or an outsider of the community of faith, but that is the beginning of Jesus' call to action. Go always in search of the lost ones. At the beginning of this video, I told you that I'm going to share with you how to avoid becoming a difficult person. When we follow Jesus' teachings on forgiveness, we can definitely avoid to become a difficult person or a problematic person in our lives. This is how it goes. Don't be a cause for others to stumble. Jesus wants a harsh punishment when people do such things, who cause others to go away from God and disturb the faith community. Don't come before God. Be reconciled first. Be reconciled before offering your gift at the altar. Matthew chapter 5 verses 23 to 24. Don't ignore the ones gone astray. Don't ignore the ones gone astray. Be the one who searches the lost sheep, leaving the 99 behind. Don't calculate forgiveness. Jesus tells Peter that forgiveness is beyond calculation. Not 7 times, but 70 times 7. Don't withhold forgiveness. Jesus tells the parable of the unforgiving servant, meaning if you have received forgiveness, extend it to others. We live in a world where Jesus' teaching to confront others, especially in matters of sinful behaviors, is seriously challenged. our right to discipline others is severely restricted. On the contrary, people are fighting to safeguard their right of non interference from others. What do you feel? We should only have individual rights and forget about our shared responsibility towards one another? Tell me in the comment section below. Say yes, say no. I appreciate you watching my entire video. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. And if you like the video, share it with your friends. Invite others also to subscribe to gospel content. And definitely check out my other videos, and I will see you in my next video.